confused him. Hare Krishna, Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Okay, so continue to read from Sri Caitanya Mangala. You might go back to Caitanya Bhagavat. We'll see. So where we left off last time, Chaitanya Mangala, Mahaprabhu is disclosing to the different devotees. He pacified Mother Sachi, then he pacified Vishnu Priya, and then he's pacifying the devotees. We read that yesterday from Chaitanya Bhagavat also. So we have read this, but I'll just, for review, I'm going to read this here. Again, Gauranga is pacifying the devotees. The days and nights passed slowly, burning everyone's heart in the fire of anxiety. The devotees found some relief by sitting together to discuss Gauranga's glories. Sachi Mata and Vishnupriya sat together, crying day and night. For them, the 10 directions seemed empty and full of darkness. Feeling disturbed and restless, friends and relatives just wandered aimlessly here and there. At that time, Srivas, the best among the Brahmanas, his heart breaking in anguish, asked Gauranga, "Prabhu, I'm afraid to ask this, but if you permit, I would like to go with you. Let the others come too, for, for they'll die if they can't see you. Listen, Vishwambara, I'll be the first to die. Thus I'm revealing my heart to you." Smiling, Gaurahari said, "Listen, Srivas, don't be apprehensive about our imminent separation. I will never leave the association of all the devotees and you. Just remember that I'm always residing in the Krishna temple within your home." That evening, after consoling Srivas, the Lord and Haridas visited Murari Gupta. Gauranga said confidentially, "Murari, since you're as dear to me as my own life, I'm telling you this. Please listen attentively to my helpful advice. Advaita Acharya is honored throughout the three worlds. He is my best friend. Advaita is an expansion of the Supreme Lord, and he acts as the Guru of the whole creation. Any self-interested person should serve Advaita Acharya. He is the king of the Vaishnavas. He has appeared for the ultimate good of the world, so one should worship him with unalloyed devotion. By worshipping Advaita, Krishna is worshipped. So Mahaprabhu is pacifying them that I'm not leaving you shelterless, all of you. Advaita Acharya is here. Take his shelter. He is as good as me. Now listen, I will tell you something confidential. Please keep this secret within your heart. You should know that I will exist within the bodies of Gadadhar Pandit, Nityananda, Advaita, and Ramai, brother of Srivas Pandit. I think Narayani was the daughter of Ramai. Anyway, yeah, niece of Srivas Pandit. Murari Gupta, the best among the doctors, fully understood the Lord's inner intentions. Knowing clearly that Gauranga was leaving to take sannyas, Murari fell flat to the earth, weeping and weeping. He offered his respects to Haridas and surrendered himself with the utmost humility. To pacify Murari, Gauranga said, "I'm always with you, and there's still some time before I take sannyas. You will find solace by taking shelter of my instructions." His heartbreaking and sadness, Lochanadas sings about Gauranga's sublime pastimes. So there seems to be some sequence missing. I'll see if we can find that. So, yeah, let's see. Maybe we'll do that later. The night before, actually, when Gauranga leaves. Okay, chapter 13. Vishwambara takes sannyas, crushing effect of his departure. Gauranga woke up early in the morning and performed his Brahminical duties. His mind was set. He would take sannyas. Nimai Pandit would go to Kanchakanagara, Katwa, take sannyas from the illustrious Keshava Bharati Goswami. The Lord began his journey by swimming across the Ganges. So, yeah, there is a mention in some scriptures about the night before and all that. I'll see if we can find that. The Lord began his journey by swimming across the Ganges. Hearing of his sudden departure, the people of Nadia felt as though they had been hit on the head by a bolt of lightning. It seemed that the sun was no longer shining in the daytime, and the peaceful swans had abandoned their lake homes. The life heirs seemed to vanish from the bodies of the devotees. Bees renounced their usual attachment for lotus flowers. All the living creatures in Navadvip felt as if they were being crushed by a mountain of miseries. Everyone lamented pitiably in separation from Lord Gauranga. Sachi Devi, Vishnu Priya, and the intimate family of the Lord lie on the ground unconscious, their limbs dangling loosely. Placing Vishnu Priya on her lap, Sachi Devi wept bitterly. Their bodies existed, but their lives were gone. They simply lay on the ground and cried. Nimai, Nimai, wailed Sachi Devi, seeing darkness in all directions. She said, how can I exist in this darkness? My house seems to swallow me up, and the advice of my relatives sounds like poison. No one will call me mother. Even Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, has forgotten me. My son has left me in such a miserable state. Oh, where has Nimai gone, leaving me alone without a son? Who will bring him back to me? Remembering your pastimes, my heart burns. Where have you gone, leaving me without protection? Did you think how much I would suffer? Oh, my son, even after so much studying, you just left me alone in a helpless condition. Why have you run away, leaving Vishnu Priya all alone? You cared nothing for the love of your followers. Vishnu Priya continually wailed in lamentation, living in a semi-conscious state. She behaved like a mad woman, forgetting to dress or tie her hair. Sometimes she sat for a moment, then she stood up and started walking here and there for no apparent reason. Sometimes she cried madly, saying, holding the garland of the Lord's body in my heart, I light a fire, enter it, and burn myself to death. Due to her natural feminine shyness, Vishnu Priya didn't say much about Lord Vishwambara. Everyone said they were suffering the reactions of their karma, although they couldn't speak. Everyone remembered Gauranga's pleasing transcendental qualities within their hearts. Simply remembering the Lord gave everyone a sweet taste of nectar. The devotees felt sharp pain in their hearts. They lost all self-control due to their bereavement. Each devotee tried to console himself by recollecting the pastimes he had with the Lord. Who can say anything conclusive about him? His character is unknown to the Vedas and everyone else in the universe. If one is fortunate, he will chant your name and awaken his relationship with you. The followers of Gauranga resolved to carry out his orders with such steadfastness. It's important. Gauranga had given them some instructions before he left. The followers of Gauranga resolved to carry out his orders with steadfastness. Thus, the devotees somewhat controlled their feelings of separation from the Lord. Nityananda Prabhu and the devotees talked about where to find Gauranga. One devotee suggested they search all the holy places. Another suggested they visit Vrindavan, Varanasi, or Nilachala, where sannyasis usually live. One devotee said, we heard that Mahaprabhu went to Katwa to take sannyas from Keshava Bharati. But it's not certain. If it's true, then everyone will run there to see Gauranga. First, let me find the facts, then I'll tell everyone. Taking a few devotees with me, I'll capture Mahaprabhu and bring him back home to Navadvip, like Hanuman, bringing Sita back. First, let me find the facts and I'll tell everyone. Taking a few devotees with me, I'll capture Mahaprabhu and bring him back home to Navadvip. Sri Nityananda Prabhu comforted Sachi Mata and Vishnu Priya before starting for Katwa. Along with Chandrasekhara, Damodar Pandit, Vakreshwara, and other prominent devotees. Meanwhile, moving like a mad elephant, the beautiful Gaurahari ran quickly to reach his destination, tears shot from his eyes like a syringe. Being overcome with love for Krishna, Gauranga's attractive golden body erupted in horripilation. He tied his hair back as if he were a wrestler of Mathura, chanting Radhe Radhe in the mood of separation. Gauranga ran down the road. Sometimes he moved slowly or hiked up his dhoti. He looked all around. The Lord of the universe was tasting the ecstasy of prema as he went to Katwa. And if you've been to Katwa, it's a beautiful place. Oh, Keshav Bharati's refusal. Reaching Katwa, the Lord met Keshav Bharati and fell at his feet, offered respects. Keshav Bharati remembered the name of Narayana. Vishwambara considered himself most fortunate to meet the eminent preceptor. They greeted each other with joyful words. Vishwambara asked Keshav Bharati to give him sannyas. While they were talking, Lord Nityananda is party from Navadvip, right? Okay. Gauranga smiled and greeted them. It is good that you've come here. Thinking that his taking sannyas would help everyone, the Lord again requested Keshav Bharati. The respected Keshav Bharati said, listen, Vishwambara, my heart trembles over the idea of awarding you sannyas. You're a young man with a beautiful body who has never known any suffering from your birth. Besides, your wife is young and you don't have a son or daughter for that matter. I don't want to give you sannyas. When one passes 50 years of age, he becomes naturally detached from material enjoyment. Then he is eligible to take sannyas. Lord Gauranga said, great sage and venerable sannyasi, what can I say before you? But don't bewilder me. Other than you, who knows the truths of self-realization? A human birth is rare in this world. Practice devotional service is even more rare. But the rarest, most valuable thing of all is to get the association of a pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. In a second, this frail human body can perish. If you hesitate, this body may disappear. Then how will I obtain the association of a pure devotee? Please don't bewilder me. Give me sannyas, and by your mercy, I'll be able to serve Krishna. Gauranga looked sad with his reddish eyes full of tears. He showed all the symptoms of ecstatic love for Krishna in his body. With a voice rumbling like the clouds, Vishwambara said, Hari, Hari. Sometimes Gauranga stood in a threefold bending form, calling out, Vamsi, Vamsi. The next moment, being thrilled with joy, his body shivered and he cried out with a laugh, Rasamandala, Govardhan. Amazed and feeling apprehensive, Keshav Bharati contemplated the situation. He realized he had made a mistake by not giving sannyas to Gauranga. He thought, this person must be the Guru of the world. If I initiate him, he will fold his hands and call me Guru. Keshav Bharati said to Mahaprabhu, first go home, meet your mother and get her permission to take sannyas. Approach your good-natured wife and your other associates and clearly tell them your plan to take sannyas. He's already done it. Taking their leave, return to me. Keshav Bharati was thinking that he'll escape. Keshav Bharati intended to leave Katwa right after sending Gauranga away. The omniscient Lord Vishwambara read Keshav Bharati's mind. Then smiling sweetly, he said, I will obey your order. Gauranga started for Nadia. Meanwhile, Keshav Bharati thought to himself, I can't escape that Lord whose bodily pores are the resting place of unlimited universes. I am a fool for not seeing all these things. Gauranga is the life and supersoul of all living entities. Thinking like this, Keshav Bharati called Gauranga back. Listen, Gauranga, said Keshav Bharati. I'm afraid to give you sannyas. You're the spiritual master of the whole world. So who can act as your guru? Why do you bewilder me for nothing? Gauranga initiates Keshav Bharati. Anyway, there's an interesting pastime which I've heard. I don't remember the details, but I will try to find them or remember them. So here, of course, as we're going to read Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he first utters mantra into Keshava Bharati's ear. So traditionally, anyways, I think yeah, what to remember is traditionally, in the Mayavadis and the impersonalists, right? Even their idea is so like they consider themselves as Lord, like that. So there was a mantra. So typically a mantra that is given, the sannyas mantra is something like that. So But Mahaprabhu obviously didn't want that. Mahaprabhu wanted a mantra which was more like Dasho was me, or Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Vritya. So there is some detail which I don't remember now. So Mahaprabhu, he was telling Keshav Bharati, hey, don't give me that mantra, give me this mantra externally. But of course, he's also initiating Keshav Bharati, is uttering the mantra in Keshav Bharati's ear, and then Keshav Bharati will repeat it back to him. Crying, Vishwambara lovingly clutched the feet of the renowned saint. Gauranga said, why do you speak such harsh words to a person who is surrendered to you about not initiating? Even if I die, I won't leave your shelter. Say whatever you want, but please listen to one thing. One night, so he's saying that I had a dream. One night I dreamt that a Brahmana gave me the sannyas mantra. Now I will tell you that mantra. You can confirm if it is correct. You follow? So he's saying that he received a mantra in a dream by a Brahmana. I'm going to speak that into your ear. If it is okay for you, you can confirm it. I will tell you that mantra. You can confirm if it is correct. Then Gauranga recited the mantra in the ear of Keshava Bharati. In this way, the completely independent Lord initiated Keshava Bharati and thereby became his guru. Realizing what had happened, Keshava Bharati Goswami said, listen, Nimai, I'll give you sannyas. Nimai danced in ecstasy and chanted loudly like thundering clouds. So externally, it seems Keshava Bharati gave sannyas to Nimai, but here it seems Vishwambara initiated Keshava Bharati. Realizing what had happened, Keshava Bharati Goswami said, listen, Nimai, I'll give you sannyas. Nimai danced in ecstasy and chanted loudly like thundering clouds. Hari, 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 his body looked like liquid nectar. His skin exploded with millions of tiny bumps of ecstasy. Tears shot forth from his red-tinged eyes in flowing streams. In astonishment, everyone uttered, alas, alas. Katwa goes crazy over Gauranga's sannyas initiation. Everyone in Katwa, old men, women, child, the blind and invalid, scholars and fools, ran to look at the all-attractive form of Lord Gaurahari. Some women carried water pots on their hips. Others stood motionless, captivated by the mystifying beauty of the Lord. People ridiculed Keshava Bharati for giving sannyas to such a handsome young man. Everyone praised the mother who gave birth to such a remarkable son of matchless beauty. They thought to themselves, Sachi Devi, the most fortunate mother is of Gauranga, is as glorious as Devaki, the famous mother of Lord Sri Krishna. Whoever got Gauranga as her husband is the most fortunate woman in the three worlds. No one can take their eyes off the indescribably attractive form of Gaurasundara. Any woman would die simply by hearing that he is taking sannyas. How can we tolerate his taking sannyas? People who were thinking like this began weeping loudly. Feeling compassionate, Gauranga called them together, telling them not to lament. He said, please, please bless me, that I may fulfill my desire to dedicate my life to serving the lotus feet of Krishna. Everyone wants to get a proper master. One's beauty and youth should be utilized in service of the right master. Without a master or husband, all of one's talents and qualities are useless. The service of the feet of Krishna is my only shelter. I will serve the beloved master and lord of my life by offering everything that I have. Then Gauranga paid obeisances to Keshava Bharati. smiled and begged him for sannyas again. The next day, Gaurahari followed the orders of his guru in performing all the rituals for taking sannyas. The Vaishnavas shook in fear and bit the edge of their garments during the head shaving of Sri Gauranga. Okay, the head shaving, some pages is missing. In ecstasy, his skin contracted in thousands of tiny bumps, causing his bodily hair to stand erect, resembling the golden spike-like filaments of a kadamba flower. From head to toe, his whole body appeared covered with thousands of tiny thorns. He walked with the gait of a lordly elephant in rut. One moment he sang Krishna's name, a minute later he collapsed on the ground with a crash. He looked stunned, then for no reason he would jump excitedly into the air, chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Sometimes he savored the sentiments of servitude. The next moment he would relish the mellow of Gopi Bhava. He walked the slow, casual pace for some time, and then instantly he would bolt down the road with lightning speed. Living in the reality of Krishna Prema, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was oblivious. Living in the reality of Krishna Prema, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was oblivious to the passing of day and night. Okay, yeah, this is important. Yeah, this is so Mahaprabhu is saying he's going to enter into Vrindavan. He's going to go into Vrindavan. He's going to go to Vrindavan. So he's going west from Katwa. When Lord Chaitanya entered Radha Desh, it is mentioned in Srimad Chaitanya Bhagavat. We can read that. When Lord Chaitanya entered Radha Desh, he didn't hear anyone chanting Krishna's name. He felt so upset by this that he decided to drown himself in the water. The devotees became filled with anxiety and thought, what will happen if Lord Chaitanya returns to Goloka? Then Sri Chaitanya Nityananda explained, by my own power, I will make sure Sri Chaitanya stays here. Okay, just gonna one second. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Bhagavat. So this is just right after Sanyasa, Chaitanya Bhagavat. I'm just going to switch into Chaitanya Bhagavat. So again, the initiation has happened, sannyas has happened. So switching to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Okay, so some of the details are the same. After Lord Chaitanya, the night of his sannyas initiation, Lord Chaitanya remained in Katwa. Immediately after the completion of the sannyas ceremonies, the Lord instructed Mukunda to sing. He stood up and began to dance vigorously. The devotees encircled him and joined him in the chorus. The Lord was immediately overcome with ecstasy. As he danced, the Lord experienced heavy breathing, laughter, perspiration, shivering, horripilation, and roaring. Then, with a voice like thunder or the roaring of 1,000 lions, he crashed to the ground. The impact of his fall sent shock waves among the spectators. The kamandalu flew out of his hand to one side, and the sannyas staff went in another direction. The Lord became enraptured and maddened with love for himself. Dancing and swirling, he went to his guru and embraced him with glowing pleasure. He's gone crazy. In the Lord's merciful embrace, Keshav Bharati was enlightened with love of God. He began to dance, singing and pirouetting ecstatically. His kamandal and danda flew from his grip. He became oblivious to the external world and intoxicated with divine love. He rolled on the ground, unaware that his clothes no longer covered his body. The Lord was pleased to see Keshav Bharati in such ecstasy. They danced together, putting the devotees into fits of ecstasy. The devotees appreciated his rare sight with a vociferous chanting of the holy name. I offer my obeisances at the feet of Keshav Bharati, the most stalwart sannyasi, for he danced with the Supreme Lord, who is difficult to meet even for the personified Vedas. He is the Guru of the Lord of the entire endless creation. That night floated by as the Guru and his disciple danced together. At dawn, the Lord begged leave of his Guru, saying, I will enter the forest, and there I will find the Lord of my heart, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chandra. So he wants to go to Vrindavan. His Guru replied, I will accompany you and relish with you the ecstasy of Sankirtan. The Lord benedicted his Guru and allowed him to come with him, requesting him to walk in the front while he followed behind. As the Lord was preparing to leave, he embraced Chandrasekhar Acharya and began to cry loudly. So this is where, the Chaitanya Mangala talks about this. So he tells Chandrasekhar Acharya to go back home and tell the devotees. As the Lord was preparing to leave, he embraced Chandrasekhar Acharya and began to cry loudly. Lord Chaitanya said, please return home to all the Vaishnavas and tell them that I have left for the forest. Please go back without the slightest remorse. I'm always imprisoned in your heart. You are my father and I your son. You are my eternal associates. The Lord then left. Chandrasekhar Acharya was overpowered by strong emotions and fell unconscious. No one can understand the Lord's inconceivable potency, and therefore even the unbearable pain of separation can keep a person alive. After some time, when he regained consciousness, Chandrasekhar Acharya left for Navadvip. He informed everyone in Navadvip that the Lord had entered the forest wearing his sannyas robe. The news deeply pained all the devotees, and they cried out in the excruciation of separation. The devastating effect of the news was widespread and intense. Advaita Acharya, numbed with grief, cried, I cannot live, and fell unconscious. The heartrending cries of the devotees could have melted the most cruel heart. Sachi Devi stood motionless like a wooden doll in stolen silence, shocked by the news. The other ladies fell to the ground, wailing piteously. Advaita Acharya, regaining consciousness, exclaimed, what further use do I have for this life now that my Lord has gone away? I will throw myself into the Ganga, and if you restrain me, I shall do it in the darkness of the night. The throbbing pain of separation rendered everyone restless and gloomy. They felt sick, uneasy, and ready to finish their lives. Although most of them were grave and learned persons. So, jnana didn't work, knowledge didn't work. Although most of them were grave and learned persons, now they were anxious, their minds in turmoil. As the devotees were preparing to end their lives in their unbearable misery, suddenly a heavenly voice caught their attention. Oh, Advaita Acharya and all the devotees, do not be sad. Go worship Krishna happily. Your Lord and Master will return in a few days and be amongst you again. Give up your resolve to take your own life. So Mahaprabhu kept them alive for a few days. Give up your resolve to take your own lives because you can be with the Lord just as before. Hearing this heavenly message, the devotees forgot about giving up their lives and sat around Sachi Devi singing the Lord's glories. Meanwhile, Lord Gaurchandra, the best of sannyasis, now traveled with Nityananda, Gadadhar, and Mukunda in a westerly direction. All the time chanting the holy name. In front of the Lord went Keshav Bharati, and behind him was Govinda. Walking like the king of the forest, the Lord was followed by thousands of wailing people. They were all around stamping the forest, but still they followed undeterred. Filled with compassion, the Lord returned to them and said, all of you go home and chant Krishna's holy name like the South India Yatra. People, the whole villages would empty out. All of you go home and chant Krishna's holy name. May you soon be blessed to have Krishna as your life's priceless gift. May the devotional mellow which is desired by Shiva, Brahma, Sukadev Goswami, and others appear in your hearts. Devotees loudly voiced their appreciation and joy and returned home as if in trance. The Lord walked into this district of Radha Desh, and blessed the entire tract of land. The same Radha Desh in Chaitanya Mangala, Mahaprabhu was mentioning that they were not chanting. Mahaprabhu was sad. He wanted to drown himself. So to deliver the residents of Radha Desh, the Lord walked into the district of Radha Desh and blessed the entire tract of land. This district is pleasant with ashwatthama trees everywhere. Cows were grazing peacefully in the beautiful natural setting, and the Lord, upon seeing the scene, began to dance blissfully. Devotees quickly gathered around him, singing and clapping. The Lord chanted, Hari, Hari, in a roaring voice that boomed across the universe, and whoever heard him was purified of his material contamination. In this way, he graced the residents of the Radha district, dancing all the way. The Lord said, I want to see in the forest where the Vakreshwara deity is. It is quiet and lonely there. The Lord then continued on his way, accompanied by his followers, dancing and singing ecstatically. The local residents ran out to see the Lord and his wonderful dancing. Although Sankirtana had never been performed in that area before, no one had even seen the effects of Krishna Prema manifest in a devotee. Now they were offering obeisances to the Lord as he danced and wept in ecstasy. This was a rare experience for them. Amongst them were a few fallen sinners who asked, why is he crying so much? But even those fallen souls were affected by the scene, and by the Lord's mercy, they began to roll on the ground crying. The entire universe was now echoing the Lord's name, yet there remained a few who refused to chant. Anyone who is against the chanting of the Lord's name is indeed the worst kind of sinner. Oh, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Finally, at the day's end, the Lord with all his followers came to a village and spent the night in a pious Brahmana's home. The Lord took his meal and went to sleep. The devotees slept all around the Lord. Just a few hours before dawn, Lord Chaitanya stole away quietly from the rest of the devotees and left for an unknown destination. When the devotees awoke early next morning, they found the Lord missing. Again, they were swept in waves of despair and melancholy and began to weep bitterly. They searched for him everywhere, inquiring from everyone in the village, but to no avail. They left the roads and paths and went into the fields. The Lord was absorbed in the transcendental ecstasy of love of God. He walked in the middle of the expansive meadows and wept and wailed loudly. He loudly called out, O Krishna, my Lord, my Father, the Lord of Vaikuntha, the Supreme Lord of all living entities. And the best of the sannyasis wept openly. He cried so loudly that he could be heard several miles away. The devotees were searching for the Lord quite a distance from where, the devotees searching for the Lord quite a distance from where he was, heard his strange crying. They began to follow the sound and soon saw the Lord crying loudly. Seeing their beloved Lord weeping, the devotees also began to cry. Finally, Mukunda started to sing. When the Lord heard Kirtan, he began to dance, and all the devotees surrounded their Lord and happily joined the Kirtan. The Lord then continued his journey westward, dancing on the way with the devotees following, singing some Kirtan. Now, I just want to end soon. When they were only 8 miles from Vakreshwara, the Lord decided to change direction. He turned around and went east. Still absorbed in the ecstasy of dancing, he was blissful and laughing to himself. Finally, he revealed the mystery behind his laughter and change of direction. There you go. He said, I'm going to Nilachala, Puri, because Lord Jagannath has instructed me. You should come to Puri immediately. He's not going to Vrindavan, he's going to Puri. The devotees were relieved to learn of the Lord's plan. No one can know the workings of the Lord's mind save his intimate devotees. And then only by his mercy can they know his inner desires. Who can fathom why the Lord was first going to Vakreshwara and then finally he did not go? It seems that the Lord in a deceptive way was purifying the residents of the district of Radha Desh by his presence. There was no other reason for him going to Radha Desh. The Lord now journeyed towards the Ganga, which lay at a distance. So he is heading back towards Jagannath Puri, or he's going to make a stop in Shantipur. Anyway, so all that we'll hear tomorrow. Lord Nityananda takes him to Shantipur. He has, the devotees have heard in Navadvip, the Akashvani, that the Lord will come in a few days. So hold on. Don't give up your lives yet. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So just mixing it up. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangala, ecstasy, pure nectar. Anything anyone wants to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like
Haribol.
Raman Prabhu was saying yesterday, just hearing the katha is so blissful, so nectarian, and especially the part where he is taking the parting with the mother. That is very, very, very touching. How, or I mean, she feels so helpless, and the separation unbearable. It's all such so sweet, really. I mean, just hearing it is very nectarian.
Yep. Yep. That is the idea, the intention to become attached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees, reading Chaitanya Mangala, Bhagavat.
Course, probably I mean, some of them knew probably that he's leaving them for a higher purpose, but to accept that is really impossible. So, so that it's
Yeah,
very.
reason fails where there is love sometimes.
Mm.
Ultimately, you have nothing but reason to pacify yourself. And of course,
The other thing is probably, I
the
think,
presence of the Lord in a different way, in a way more than Vapu, the
mm,
Vani association that we hear so often about.
mm.
Vani association is eternal. Vapu is, in one sense, momentary, temporary, but Vani association is eternal.
The other thing,
And
of course,
yeah,
for us, it's very, it's all really a very elevated consciousness. But I think the hope, when where Chaitanya says, it's not that I'm living forever, we will meet again. So that hope of meeting him again, I think that is what kept them alive, kind of. And so for us also, I think, although we're in a very preliminary stage, but it is that hope that one day we will uh, reach some pure chanting, Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha Nam, and meet the Lord. I think some hope like that is what will keep, especially I find that in old age and things like that, like Sachi Mata, it's a hope actually that keeps you going. I feel, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then, of course, the Lord also leaves the means behind. It's like the boat, right? The Bhagavatam verse. That's the beauty of this. Many people have crossed this ocean using a boat, but the boat always remains on the shore. So, yeah, Anyway, our process is about meeting and separation. And in one sense, there is no separation. Yeah. Like the famous quote, there is an ill who says Vaishnavas die. Right. So anyway, so the Lord is available. He said, I'm present. I'll be present in my deity form. I'll be present in my holy name. I'll be there with you. I'm always with you. And of course, as the Paramatma, he's actually much closer than we think he is. He's there in the heart. Yeah.
Yes, Raghu. Thank you so much. That is, I think, the right consciousness that is there with us in so many forms. That is what will really help. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And of course, it's Achintya Bheda Vedanta, and we still have a desire to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's not wrong, or yeah, he's there and he's sort of not there in a way. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita discusses actually, so it's over 20 years. Yeah, because Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you consider Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Madhya Leela, because recently I did a presentation on Shivananda Sen, who was instrumental in taking all the devotees to Jagannath Puri every year. So for 20 years, the devotees every year. So Mahaprabhu is not lying when he says we'll meet again. I'll always be with you. Mm. So we'll meet in for 4 months of the rainy season, Chaturmasha. You can come to Puri and then you go back. So for 20 years, the devotees every year they would travel to Puri. So he just increased, this whole separation, it increases, the love. Yeah.
So they're always looking forward to the next visit to Jagannath Puri, meeting
Yeah.
him again.
And while they're in Nadia, they're following his instructions. So they are there with him through his instructions. So in both cases, they are with the Lord. So for us, the application, as you're saying, is if the one who lives with the instructions of Krishna or the Guru, the Guru is always with him. Like Prabhupada said, I never felt alone. When he came to New York, although he was alone, he said, I never felt alone. I felt the presence, always I felt the presence of my spiritual master. And literally his spiritual master. And then he would also see, he would also see that all these disciples that he was making, they were sent to him by his spiritual master. So he saw them as the manifestation, not manifestation, but the mercy of his Guru, that his Guru placed all of them here and there, everywhere, all over the world. And Srila Prabhupada also, from his life also, as we can see, he was not a brahmachari or a sannyasi that was hanging around Bhakti Siddhanta all the time. He met Bhakti Siddhanta a few times, that's it. Yeah. So anyway, this whole important topic about separation and meeting. Yeah. And by discussing, as you're saying, and by remembering what do devotees do, what would the gopis do? The Gopi Gita is all about that. Gopis, they would just discuss. They would discuss Krishna's pastimes, and they would feel the presence of the Lord. Arjuna, after Krishna disappears, departs, he's lamenting. Of course, he's devastated. But then he becomes enlivened. He remembers the Lord's exchanges with him. He becomes enlivened again. The exchanges and the instructions. So similarly, here the devotees are doing that. So in one sense, we are forced to go deeper go deeper into the depths of our attachment to the Lord or the devotees. We need to find that. Yeah. We cannot sort of superficially, we cannot go on superficially. We have to go deeper.
I think that's also a very effective way, remembering the times we spent with the spiritual master, the devotees, the yatras, and so many things, the dham, just remembering those things. Uh, that will happen in future also, kind of. So that's the continuity in our, at least in the mind, we can keep that this is how it happened in the past and this is what will happen in the future.
And Raghunath Das Goswami was, yeah, so all these devotees, they have been asked to, that's why we chronicle these things. So Raghunath Das Goswami was asked to, hey, you can leave when you got all the nectar. You come here and speak. Because Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were associating with Mahaprabhu in another way. You follow, right? They were felt the presence of the Lord.
Yeah,
through
right.
the service that they had given, but they realized we don't have the association. We don't have what Raghunath had. So that's also wonderful. So Raghunath, come here and share.
That's good. So in the discussion, what has come out, thank you so much, that there are so many ways we can really stay connected, remember, look forward to, hope. So many things are there to really keep us going. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Good. Okay, anything else? Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept Mangala.
Haribol?
Yes, Prabhu. I was thinking, Prabhu, in yesterday's class, as you are telling that Raghunath Das Goswami was made to speak. And then Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami was in the audience. He was hearing from Raghunath Das Goswami and then he compiled Chaitanya Charitamrita. So although we are told that in the starting of Kali Yuga, all the scriptures had to be written down from the sound vibration form, but we can see here that our acharyas, Shad Goswamis, are so like elevated that they are just hearing and then thus transmitting. So they are at such an elevated platform. I was just thinking yesterday. Yes, Guru. And this point, going deeper into the attachments with your relationship with devotees, that is really that is the crux of Krishna consciousness. Maharaj also says that Krishna consciousness is all about relationships. So yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for this discussion. Yes, true.
Yeah.
So yes, true. One
no,
question.
So these devotees are correct. Vyasadeva, he compiled the Vedas. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed these, he taught them. As you're saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Raghunath, to Rupa Sanatan Goswami, and he asked him to compile the scriptures. They wrote, as you're saying, they heard, and wow, and they knew all the scriptures. They refer to left, right, and center all the scriptures, and they compiled. They composed many original verses, like Sri Jiva Goswami, 400,000 verses. So they composed original verses. They referred to Shruti and Smriti. And it's quite unfathomable. And who are these associates? They're all manjaris and gopis in their eternal form. It's profound, amazing thing. Yeah, they're not ordinary people. Yeah, not even Vyasadeva. Anyway, no disrespect, no respect. No, Vyasadeva, but these are even Yeah, exalted souls. Manjaris, associates of the Lord.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, so one more thing I was thinking that in the discussion today between Keshav Bharati and Lord Chaitanya. So Keshav Bharati told that you are too young and you should go back, take permission from your mother, permission from. So even like I think in ISKCON also this is followed that if you want to give sannyas to Grasta, Grasta should take permission from his wife and
Wife.
his
Yeah.
family. Yeah. So very
Right.
interesting discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, it's not reckless. It's not, yeah. Yeah, things are carefully done. And there are instances, even during Srila Prabhupada's times, from what I understand, some of the sannyasis were actually married earlier. Like Guru Maharaj, of course, he was a Naistika Brahmachari, but some of the sannyasis, they were even grihasthas for a brief time, for a brief moment, for a brief time. And of course, I don't know all the details. We don't know the details. But then Prabhupada gave gave them sannyas. So yeah, they must have followed the protocol and all that. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Even Kadam Kanan Maharaj was a Grasta and Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And today, yeah, yes.
Indradhanna Swami Maharaj. Yeah.
And Prabhu, one last
So,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
This Vrakeshwar, in the last it was mentioned. So this Vrakeshwar Pandit is the same who dances for 72
For
hours.
72 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, but this was a place called Vakreshwara. I don't
Okay.
know what. Yeah. It is referring to Mahaprabhu is going in the direction of Vakreshwara to see the deity there or something. But I don't know where that is.
What about Radhadesh Prabhu? What about
Is it again? Yeah.
Ra-
So
Radhadesh?
what is mentioned here is that after Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa, I don't know the whole geography of Bengal and all that. So externally, he said, I'm going to the forest. I'm going to forest means Vrindavan. So he's going the forest, Vrindavan, he says. And then as he's going to the forest, so he walks in a certain direction, apparently. So he walks in the western direction. And along, as he's going towards Vrindavan, he comes to this place called Radhadesh. I don't know what that place is, but it is called Radhadesh. And Mahaprabhu is mentioning that some of the people of Radhadesh were not chanting the holy names. So that's what we were hearing. So it seems, let's say Katwa is here, Radhadesh is here, but Mahaprabhu actually wants to go to Nadia. He wants to go to Shantipur because anyway, so he said he'll meet the devotees in a few days. So he goes west and then he turns. He said, no, I don't want to go to Vakreshwar. I'm going to go I want to go to Jagannath Puri, Nilachal. But anyway, the beautiful thing is he says, I want to go to Jagannath Puri. And then in Shantipur, when he'll meet the devotees, his mother will request him, hey, can you go to Jagannath Puri, please? And not go to Vrindavan. But Mahaprabhu is already thinking of Jagannath Puri. But his mother gets the credit.
And he remained in Jagannath Puri as well to keep up his mother's order.
Correct. Yeah. And Mahaprabhu, out of humility, he also says that, yeah, I made several attempts to go to Vrindavan, but I could not because I didn't have my mother's blessings. He tried first, when he met Rupa Sanatana Goswami, then he came back. Then the second time we tried to go. Then Lord Nityananda tricked him, or he went to Shantipur, like that. Anyway, so Radha Desh, so it seems like Katwa, then going towards Vrindavan west, then he makes a U-turn or he goes east. towards Shantipur. Yeah. So Vakreshwar there was the name of a place. Yeah, maybe Vakreshwar Pandit is named after him or something of that place. I don't know, but there is no reference to the devotee of Vakreshwar. Yeah, he is coming. I think he's maybe one of the parties coming. One of the persons coming along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the party, maybe. Yeah. I don't remember the names now. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
All right. Okay, so we'll end. Hare Krishna. Ram Navami is coming up soon. Oh yeah, one small announcement I wanted to make. I've been thinking, yeah, Saturdays. I also sometimes have constellations and all that, and Sundays are also kind of busy. Though it seems these morning classes will be Monday through Friday. Saturday, we have a good option. Saturday morning, 7:30 Central Time, Ramayana. Nityananda Pran Prabhu has been doing Ramayana series for a couple of years now, I think, on Saturdays. So I joined last time for a brief. So 7:30 in the morning, if you all want, you can join Ramayana. I'll send the details. It's also an hour, 7:30 to 8:30 Central Time here. So which is India now, 6 o'clock onwards. That way. So Saturday, Sunday morning, I might not have classes. Okay. I'll keep you posted, but it seems like that right now. I'll send you the details of the Ramayana class if you want to join. So they are currently actually in Sundarakanda, almost at the end. No, Sundarakanda? Yeah, Sundarakanda, right? Yeah, Sundarakanda, Hanuman. Last time it was a nice class. The four qualities for success. There was a verse about Hanuman. Essentially, four things from what I remember. First is Vritti, determination. Second is Drishti, having the proper vision. Third was Mati. And the fourth is Daksha. Hanuman. These were the four qualities of Hanuman. So he was successful. Determined. He had the vision. He had the proper intelligence. And he was expert. Daksha means he does like artistic or expert to accomplish the task at hand. You don't have to be like skillful and all that, but essentially whatever it takes to get things done, expert in that way. Expert. Capable. So that's what I was thinking. Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you.